Jalen Milroe, when he was drafted by the Seahawks in the third round and this past year's draft a few months ago, it was expected that he wasn't going to be in competition with Sam Darnold for the starting job. He was going to take this year, maybe another one to sit back, learn, and develop. But however, Jalen Milroe has had other plans because the dude has been completely flawless up to this point of the Seattle Seahawks training camp. He's been doing a great job throwing the ball with accuracy, making great decisions. He's also showcased his elite world-class athleticism as well. And Sam Darnold, he's been hot and cold up to this point in training camp for the Seahawks. And they did give Sam Darnold a massive contract in free agency. But the Seahawks are no stranger to bailing on the guy that they paid a lot of money to play quarterback in free agency in favor of a rookie quarterback. Because with how good Jalen Milroe has been up to this point in training camp for Seattle, it feels like he has made it deja vu and it's 2012 all over again for this franchise. Because remember, 13 years ago, the Seahawks had signed Matt Flynn, who was coming off a crazy performance in the final game of the regular season for Green Bay. He threw for a bunch of yards, like 5 or 6 touchdowns. The dude went scorched earth, and the Seahawks signed him. He was expected to be their starting quarterback. Then they drafted Russell Wilson, and Russell Wilson just completely outplayed him all throughout training camp and the preseason. And the Seahawks, unlike most franchises, they didn't politic. Most franchises, they would just still go with the guy who they paid the most money to in spite of him getting outplayed by the rookie. Instead, the Seahawks, they said, we're going to throw out Russell Wilson. And everybody was a little bit taken back by it, but Russell Wilson went on to have a phenomenal rookie season. Eventually, he led them to a Super Bowl. Now, I'm not saying that Jalen Milroe is the second coming of Russell Wilson, but what I am telling you is, with how good he has been in OTAs, mini camp, and up to this point in training camp, if he continues this hot streak and we get some really good preseason performances out of Jalen Milroe, which I expect that he does get a lot of preseason action because the Seahawks want him to develop and they want to see what they truly have in him. They do also have Drew Lock, who they brought back, but we've already seen enough out of Drew Lock to know what he is. We don't know what Jalen Milroe is because Jalen Milroe, for all we know, he could be reverse Anthony Richardson. And he often gets compared to Malik Willis and Anthony Richardson when he isn't really as similar to those guys as what you may believe he is. Because for one, he has more experience as a starter than what Anthony Richardson had. Anthony Richardson only started 1 full season in college. Jalen Milroe played 2 full seasons as Alabama starter. And also, he played at the highest level that you can play at in college football, doing it against SEC defenses. And what makes Jalen Milroe better than Malik Willis and Anthony Richardson is that we've seen Jalen Milroe have good games throwing the football. The dude absolutely destroyed Georgia's defense. And most quarterbacks that have success against Georgia's defense normally go on to have really good careers. The only quarterbacks that have been as good against Kirby Smart's defense as what Jalen Milroe was when Alabama went up against the Bulldogs was Joe Burrow and Jaden Daniels. That's about it. Jalen Milroe, his issue is more so consistency. Sometimes he struggles with the quick game. Sometimes he can overly rely on his arm and spams that deep ball a little bit too much. But when you can get him playing in rhythm, you can get him throwing the football on time, he can be a really dangerous quarterback, especially if you can find a way to help him put it all together. Don't just overlook and gloss over this Jalen Milroe hot streak to kick off Seahawks training camp as just a feel-good story that's going to cool off. No. The Seahawks drafted him because they loved what he said during his combine interview. They asked him, What is he good at? And he just listed off a bunch of things that he had to improve on. And he's one of those guys that you just can't underestimate because he's a workaholic. If he tells you he's going to put the time in to do so, he's going to do it, and he's going to do it full throttle. I'm not sold on Sam Darnold. He's coming off the best season of the entirety of his NFL career. We don't know if last year was lightning in a bottle for Sam Darnold or if he's going to be able to keep up that level of play. And even if he is still a capable quarterback, the chances that you get the kind of season that Sam Darnold had last year with Minnesota is incredibly low, only due to Sam Darnold playing MVP football for the majority of the regular season in 2024. If you're telling me that you're going to get that level of play in 2025, the Seahawks have one of the biggest bargains at the quarterback position if that happens. But Jalen Milroe, though, don't overlook this situation because we have been here before with the Seattle Seahawks 13 years ago. Matt Flynn versus Russell Wilson. They gave Matt Flynn a boatload of money in free agency, and Russell Wilson, as a rookie, outperformed them in training camp and the preseason. And we very well could see that same situation playing out with how well Jalen Milroe has looked in training camp. I mean, they said he's been completely flawless. Now, he hasn't really gotten a lot of work with the first string defense, but eventually that will come. And if he ends up dominating the first string defense and he's dominating the preseason, I don't see how you don't start Jalen Milroe. With his athleticism, if he can just outright beat Sam Darnold, you're looking at somebody who may end up having the greatest rookie season ever, because there's not really a difference between Jalen Milroe and Lamar Jackson from an athleticism standpoint. Hell, if anything, he's a lot better running the football than what Lamar Jackson is, because not only does he have the elusiveness and the shiftiness and the quickness that Lamar somewhat has, but the dude runs the football like he's a flipping ox. Like, he will run you flat the hell over. You get tired tackling somebody that's 230, 235 pounds at quarterback that's willing to put that shoulder down. And even if Jalen Milroe doesn't beat out Sam Darnold, they're going to have different packages for him to get him involved, because he has too much elite athletic ability to just completely let him sit on the sidelines.